We call it Second Kitchen Sounds for a special reason. That's because we're cooking everything in any season. A beef jerky recipe, that's so much fun. You want a low fat cut of meat. So what I got is a eye of round roast. The thinner you slice it, the quicker your meat is going to pass through that danger zone where bacteria can be attracted by the water in the meat and grow. If you slice this very thin, as it's in the dehydrator, all the nasty little bacterias don't have a chance to swarm into the meat and multiply. Another thing we're going to do to inhibit bacterial growth is make the marinade for our beef jerky very salty. For a flavor profile here is a spicy pad thai. Going to add about 100 grams of kosher salt, some Worcestershire sauce, 25 grams of Worcestershire sauce. We have some sweet soy sauce. This is different than a teriyaki sauce. This tastes a bit of molasses actually. So both salt and sugar can act as curing agents. And we do want a little bit of sweetness in our pad thai here. So we're going to add sweet soy sauce until we get bored. And that's about right there. We also have some of this cool Japanese barbecue sauce. That's a bit more equivalent to a teriyaki, I'd say. Yeah. Yep. Taste it. You don't want to waste it. We have sambal oelek. Just dump a bit of that in there. We're not really measuring too much anymore. I'd say about 3/4 of a cup. Fish sauce. Not too much. Fish sauce, maybe like a tablespoon. Gonna add in some soy and some vinegar to round this out. Rice vinegar. Probably about a cup of that. We have tamarind paste. You're going to want to strain that. Sometimes they have little seeds left over in here. There's a bunch of these little pebbly seeds that is rather unpleasant to bite into. So I started straining my tamarind paste like this, and now it works a lot better. Got a lot of that tamarind paste out. It's going to provide kind of a sour, tangy note. We need peanut butter. When we're talking about dehydrating, we're talking about using very low temperatures to draw out water. At those low temperatures, you're not able to render out the fat. And inside of the fat, there are liquids. So adding a fat, such as peanut butter, to our marinade may be a bad idea. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out together, because by the time this video's out here, I'm going to let you know if we in fact lived, or if this is the one that did us in. We could add some brown sugar. In a traditional pad thai dish, this would be cane sugar. They come in discs, generally, is how I've seen them. Now we should have a very sweet, very salty concoction. Thai bird chili. As with all peppers, it's the seeds and the membranes on the inside that are the spicy part. I wouldn't take any seeds out in this application, but if you want to, you can do that. Get this all incorporated there. Taste. Okay. More sugar. Quite a bit of onion powder as well. Big green onions on a pad thai that are really nice. Add some crushed red pepper in this. 1/4 cup. Give that a mix and mix. A little more of this teriyaki kind of barbecue sauce kind of deal. Just trying to add liquid to the salt. We did add a little heavy with the salt. Okay. I see you out here working it. A little bit more fish sauce though. Give it a little bit of a funky vibe. Yep. Some things that I forgot about that I am going to add. Some lime juice. I'm going to use the juice of 2 limes. We have a whole head of garlic here that we've peeled and is going in our little blender. And then we have a whole bunch of green onions. Literally a bunch that when they come in the rubber banded together, it's a bunch of green onions. We also have a jalapeno in here. Sorry, we keep missing ingredients, but there is a jalapeno in here. Let's do this move. Get some liquid in here. A whole bunch of our marinade in here. And we're going to mix it up again so we can now extract the flavors out of here. Now, we have this combined. flavor taster. We're not going to need too much ginger, but we are going to need some ginger. That out with a little bit of water. And let's peek the taste. We already know we have a nice color. This isn't a beauty contest. This is a cooking show. What's it taste like? Wow. 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 Now our beef's been in the freezer for about an hour and a half here. This meat slicing knife is a gift from Charlie, the spice dropper. We want these as thin as we can get them, and we're actually going to cut off this fat cap here. Meat. Not much meat came off with that fat cap. I'm honestly not too worried about it. Something like that. What is that? A quarter inch? And you see a little bit of intermuscular fat here. Honestly, that's not ideal, but we're going to see how this works out. Again, using our knuckles as a guide. We're going to come in here like this and dictate how thin or thick we want these slices to be. Make your pieces as uniform as possible. If you have some big chonkers and then you have other little skinny winnies, they're not going to dehydrate at the same rate. Not only so they dehydrate at the same rate, but so they draw in the marinade at the same rate. You don't just want to throw these in as a handful, because if you see here, there's a lot of places that this meat is stuck together, and you want to make sure the marinade is touching every piece of this meat to get the proper curing properties that we are intending. So lay it on one side, dunk it. They are going to be in here and clumped together, but at least we know they're going to have a little barrier of marinade between them. The jerky is a labor of love. Plop and dunk. Plop and dunk. Plop and dunk. Plop and dunk. The plop and dunk technique. So that's probably about 3 pounds of beef jerky in there. We're going to put a lid on this. We have our beef out of the fridge. It's sat for about 10 hours. Our dehydrator. You replicate this in your oven with the door open on a baking sheet with a rack. You don't want any of these pieces overlapping. You also want to make sure there's nothing folded over. Anything that isn't going to be exposed to this warm air is not going to dry properly, and that again opens yourself up for those bacteria to get in there. You want it to be dried, obviously, so I feel like what beef jerky should feel like. Be a little stringy, but we'll taste it. I've already had a piece, and it's delicious. Can we see that? Probably not. No? Okay. We're going to let it ride a little more. This one has this little bit of fat right there. That's going to be kind of problematic. Looking good. There's our crushed red pepper. Spike drop! This is where the beef jerky was. Then we lost power. We took the beef jerky out. It was already finished. We put it into a receptacle. And this is what beef jerky looks like. It looks delicious. And this little bit right here, this is what we're talking about. You don't want fat like that on your end product. That's going to retain moisture. That's going to cause spoilage. So we're just going to go ahead and eat that piece right now. Yummy, yummy. If we take a look at the texture, it'll bend, but you can tear it apart. The flavor on this is absolutely phenomenal. I already gave some of this out at work. Oh, yummy, yummy, they said. That's what I said too. Beef jerky. Oh, what a snack.
100% salt, 100% sugar. I almost forgot. You gotta preheat your cooker of choice.